Hey folks, meteorologist Austin Bowling here. I want to give you just a quick update on how things are progressing out there. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch for most of the areas along and west of Interstate 44 until about 7 o'clock tonight. I have been watching some scattered storms coming up out of Texas now, the strongest of which now appears to be over southern Harmon County, coming up very close to Highway 5 in southern Harmon County. This is going to be directly south of the Gould area. And again, we have been noticing some rotation with this, and it is beginning to tighten up here. So if you do know anybody that is in southern Harmon County and eastern Harmon County, definitely want to make sure you pay attention to this storm very closely. I'm going to dive in just a little bit closer here, just so you can see where this is. Again, all of this is the radar view. What the radar determines, the winds are moving. So everything in red is going to be heading away from that radar, and everything in green is heading back towards the radar. Now, this storm has had a wall cloud with it, or a lowered area where we do have the rotation out of Childress. So this has been pretty consistent with this storm, and we're just now starting to see that coming fully into Oklahoma. And what we haven't seen yet is any confirmation of any more with this. I continue to track Twitter and just see if there's anything else with this. Obviously, any of the live streams or anything like that, there is no official tornado warning with this yet, but it is starting to. And actually, going through Twitter here, there was a funnel cloud on the cell that was crossing the Red River southwest of Elmer. So that's doesn't quite match up with what I'm seeing there on the radar. I think they might have meant El Dorado. But again, the strongest storm is going to be the one there in southern Harmon County. So that is definitely the one that has my attention as of right now. So this is mainly a fairly sparse area, but every tornado is important here. Every warning is going to be important today. This is the primary region that we're looking for any tornadic development today. It is going to be these areas out into Harmon and Jackson and Greer counties that has this biggest threat. So you can see on the screen here over towards this side on your right, there is East Duke, and Altus is over here on the far side. So just to give you an idea of where that stands, we are quite some distance away from this storm at the moment, and it is heading more in a northeast direction. So again, just give you an idea, this is about 15 miles from Duke, and this is about 8 miles from Gould. No official tornado warning on this, but this does continue to intensify. If you are in Gould or eastern Harmon County, extreme western Jackson County, I would go ahead and take my safety precautions right now. I would be inside, away from windows, downstairs, as low as you go. This continues to ramp up. I would not be surprised to see a tornado warning issued for this storm here in the next couple of minutes. So again, there we go, right there. We're talking about the latest warning, just as I mentioned it. That is going to include southern Harmon County. It does include the town of Gould, the north-south direction there along Highway 5, and the stretch of Highway 62 from Gould out east to the Jackson County line. So this does not include Jackson County. Not yet, at least. Given the continued track of this, it is moving more north-northeast, so this looks to stay just to the west of Duke. But those in Gould, you can hear my voice. You know anybody that is in Duke, or in Gould, excuse me, not Duke, Gould. If you know anybody in eastern Harmon County, please call them right now and tell them they need to get to their safe spot immediately. There is the rotation. Let's get the latest. This is just radar indicated. Again, there is nothing confirmed with this storm, but I have seen some streams where there has been a funnel cloud with these as well. So not seeing anything, still the brief funnels, but nothing official has been turned in here. But this is a tornado warning for a radar indicated tornado. So the Weather Service in Norman issuing this for the southeastern Harmon County areas until 3:30. So we've got another 25 minutes on this. So this storm is capable of producing a tornado. It's located 9 miles south of Gould, moving north-northeast at about 20 miles per hour. So let's hop off of this and let's give you the track of what we have here. I'm going to put just the cellular mode on here, and then let's track this. This is going to be off. And that's the distance tool. I don't need the distance tool today. There we go. Right in here. There we go. So I'm going to put this off towards the northeast at 20 miles per hour. All right, so this is coming up for Gould officially. That is going to be at 3:25. 20 minutes. 20 minutes for Gould. Again, if you know anybody in Gould, this is heading right towards them. This continues to intensify. The rotation area is definitely getting stronger here. Going to investigate some of the wind speeds here. So we've got about 50 miles an hour that's going out and about 50 miles an hour that's going in. So this is about 100-mile-an-hour rotation that's taking place here over that storm. So that is what we're dealing with here. And again, still trying to find the feed, see if anybody has anything official with this. I haven't seen anybody with pictures other than some brief funnel clouds with this, but this continues to be just radar indicated. I would not be surprised by now, given how this looks, that this could be producing a tornado here very shortly. Again, if you know anybody in Gould or you are in Gould, take your safety precautions right now. Downstairs, underneath something, center of the house, keep away from the windows. Again, this is a tornado warning until 3:30 for southeastern Harmon County, including the town of Gould, and right along Highway 5. It is going to come right along Highway 5 and head up right up along the highway into the town of Gould, if not just off towards the east. I know there's not a lot out here, but again, when you've got a town in the crosshairs of something like this, every one of these is important. Let's take a look and see what we have as far as any debris detection with this. Let's see if anything has been picked up yet. Let's play this. This is more of a spike that's right here. And you see these spikes. There's typically some larger hail that's associated with these storms as well. So you notice this is what we call a three-body spike right in here. So when you get something like that, it's getting into the very large hail and the signal's not able to go all the way through it. So that's what we're seeing here is that the potential for some large hail coming in with this storm too. But again, as far as anything with debris just yet, it's not quite matching up with the area of rotation. So for the moment, that's definitely some good news. But as far as where this thing is going and how it's developing, we definitely need to keep an eye on this very carefully. Not saying Gould is out of the woods. We still very much need to be in our safe spot here for at least the next 30 minutes until this at least passes by and that you can see this off to your north. Will we finally call this clear? But right now, this is the first tornado warning of the day. We have seen some severe thunderstorms that have popped up across northern Texas that have been a little bit on the stronger side, but they've been around a quarter size to maybe a $half size with the hail, but not seeing anything past that. There is that area of rotation again is starting to ball up right there just the south of Gould. Back out real quick. There's some other strong storms in Hardeman County, El Dorado. Watch out there in southwestern Jackson County as well for seeing some of these stronger storms head your way too. And then there are a few more storms trying to bubble up right along the Jackson-Tillman County line at the state line, and then also around Vernon. Those would be heading up towards Tipton and the Frederick areas over the next couple of hours. Everywhere else, it's more garden variety showers and thunderstorms. This is the strongest storm that takes precedent right now. So again, doesn't look terribly impressive. It is kind of wrapped up here, at least reflectivity wise, but it is kind of balling up right in here. There is that kind of comma shaped that is working its way through. We'll go back to the velocity and just see what we have in here. Still that tight little couplet right in here. So again, we are very close to getting into the town of Gould. So again, we'll time that, we'll place this here and we'll drag this out. And we're about 5 miles away from Gould right now. So we're getting very close to Gould. still, if anybody knows anybody that is in Gould, you need to be taking your precautions right now. Carla, is Cash going to get any of these? Uh, Again, we're still looking closer to that maybe 5 o'clock time frame. We see some scattered storms. Looks like the biggest threat of seeing the spinny stuff is going to be out in western Oklahoma, where we see more of these isolated cells staying together. As this forms into more of a line, it's going to be more damaging winds and hail. That is the threat for more Comanche County, uh, up into Caddo County, eastern parts of Tillman County. So that's where we expect to see that. So they have trimmed this back a little bit to be a little bit more focused and still radar indicated here. Still moving northeast at 25. So they have picked up the pace on this as well. So let's put this out a little bit further and let's just see which direction this is moving again. I still think this is moving north northeast. And we're going to put that just about a half mile to the west of the highway. All right, so we'll put this right about here. We're going to put this at 25. All right, some new towns here. Again, we're getting into more stop sign towns here. Schroeder coming up at 336 and Russell at 342, but that would put it into southwestern and western Greer County at that point as well. But still, it is Gould that needs to be on guard here. We're still about 10 minutes or less from town right now. So that's what we're looking at here. Still trying to see if there's been any confirmations here. Not seeing anything. Just a lot of scary looking clouds, some wall clouds, obviously, but not seeing any pictures of an active tornado taking place here. That is good news at the moment, but that is not a reason to leave your safe spot there in eastern Harmon County. So again, still have this warning for another 15 and change minutes as this works its way through. It continues to have a history of producing a wall cloud and some large hail, so you need to give it that as well. You need to click off the track here. We're getting a little bit further into town, and now we get a little bit closer into the grids here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We're about 3 miles out of town right now as you count the grids here. So it's about a half grid there. So 1, 2, 3 miles. 3 miles to the south of Gould right now. So that storm continues to work its way up from the south. All right, Rick, I got it right this time. Any tornadic action for the metro tonight or tomorrow? I have to ask, since this is more of my focus is Southwest Oklahoma, do you consider Lawton the metro, or are we jokingly calling it the metro, or are we looking at more Oklahoma City metro? I want to make sure I get that correct, but I assume you mean the Oklahoma City metro area. I would not expect much for the Oklahoma City area as far as tornadic activity tonight, but as these storms get going after midnight tomorrow night, that could be a little bit more of a different story. The bigger threat, yes, you mean Oklahoma City. So yes, I think more after midnight, mainly out in eastern Oklahoma is the bigger threat, but there is a low tornado chance up and around Oklahoma City as well late tomorrow night. So again, we're still watching for this storm coming right into the town of Gould. So we're getting very close in here. Even McQueen, just a few miles to the east there, also needs to be in your tornado precautions here. We're seeing this is right along. Can't get the highways here. The county roads. Not seeing these really pop up all that well. All these are dirt roads out here. So we're about 2 miles now just south of town. Still not seeing anything confirmed with this. And I hope it stays this way. But we continue to see that rotation is still pretty compact, still pretty tight, not getting any confirmed other than just radar indicated. There are some spotters out there on these storms this afternoon, so that gives us definitely some eyes to watch this. And if there was something out there, I know they would have posted it by now. That is just how the chase community is. Got to be pretty quick to get that stuff out there. But right now, this is just radar indicated tornado warning. We still have, let's see, there is It's about 35 in and 45 out. We're still looking at about 90-mile-an-hour winds, or 90-mile-an-hour shear, excuse me, right here with this storm as it's working its way through. Uh, Again, still hunkered down here in Gould. We're not done yet. Got to let this pass by to your north before we can give the all clear to Gould. And then it gets out into some fairly rural pasture land at this point here in eastern Harmon County. And then we can turn our attention to other storms in the region as this continues to work its way east and northeast. The line of storms continues to work its way east and northeast. And those areas just off towards the west are in the clear now. Hollis, we start to see things wrapping up. Down towards Childress, things are wrapping up. Still waiting on that latest loop to see where we stand here. There is that rotation area just about a mile south of Gould. It's going to come in right into town or just east of town. Very close. Very, very close. See if there's any debris detection here. Not seeing any debris detection, not seeing anything being lofted into the ground. This view tells me if something is irregularly shaped. If everything is like a raindrop, it's the same size up and down as it is left and right. The colors are all the same. When we see that color drop down to a blue, that means my shapes are more taller than wide or more narrow than they are tall. So that's what we see there. But nothing indicates that we have any debris being lofted into the air here in Gould. So that is definitely some good news at the moment. As far as the rotation area, it is still there. It is not as tight or as strong, but it is still there. It is still present. And not sure if they will continue with the tornado warning, given where it stands. They may just put this as a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. But it's definitely one that catches your attention compared to the rest of it. And you notice the storm shape now is not as well defined as what we have been seeing. So there's the latest update. You still see this little bit of a comma shape right in here. Let's take that off and let's see what the velocity looks like now with this latest update. So that puts the velocity right over town as we speak. So still give this another 5 or so minutes, Gould. Same thing with McQueen. Let this pass by. And again, there it is. It's still right in this area, right in here. Right over Gould or just to the east is where we're seeing that tornado threat potentially. Nothing has been confirmed. We are still keeping an eye on it. Not seeing any pictures of this tornado. Again, it's all been the supercell, the gusting winds, the shelf clouds, the wall clouds coming out of this. So there's been nothing confirmed out of this at the moment. So let's hope this continues to be the case. We'll back out here a little bit more. So there we go. They did decide to go the route of the severe thunderstorm warning now with the tornado potential tag to it. So that is definitely some good news. We should see this, should see that tornado warning expire as a result of this. So it's not as tight. You're not seeing the bright couplets right against each other. It's still a very broad rotation area. So again, all of this is still spinning in here, but it is very broad and not focused in any one particular area. So we'll get the latest on this severe thunderstorm warning, which now heads up towards the Mangum area. So it is still showing. You can see in the middle of my screen. I know it's smaller here, but there is that tornado possible tag that they usually add on to severe thunderstorm warning. So even if we have just plain old severe thunderstorm warning, that doesn't mean the tornado threat is zero. For storms like these that have shown a history of it, but are not imminently producing a wall cloud or a tornado or anything like that, the Weather Service may put out these tornado possible additions to severe thunderstorm warnings. Hail is still right around nickel size, and we could still see 60-mile-per-hour winds as a result with this storm. So let's put a track on this, and it does show here that goes until 4 o'clock now. we've got another 40 minutes to go on this one as it moves northeast at 25. Still looking at about nickel-size hail and gusts to 60 as the primary threats here. So let us back out. We're going to put a new track on this. This is going to put it up here, 25. Put it up towards Willow. All right, so that puts it at Russell around 341, Mangum at 409, and Bloomington at 418. So Mangum is in there, so we do see that population go up just a little bit more, around 2,700 folks hopping in there as well. So that's what we're looking for at the moment. Just making sure somebody's trying to visit the house. All right. Okay, so that is definitely some good news here at the moment. Now transitioning to just a severe thunderstorm warning. Shouldn't say just. All these are still potentially strong storms, but we're seeing this transition away from the tornado threat. You can see how that has diminished quite a bit, even in the last couple of minutes. You're not seeing as bright of reds. You're not seeing as bright of greens, and this is kind of broadened out even more. So that is the good news here for the moment, that we're not really seeing that tornado threat here. Trying to investigate some of these winds around here. So we've got, looks like maybe some 50-mile-an-hour winds that are coming through Blair, Martha, up towards Lake Altus Lugert. And those will be coming into the Roosevelt area as well. So since we have a moment, and if you're holding on here for a second, I will hop off here in a minute since we're not looking at an imminent tornado threat, but I'm going to investigate some other things for the moment. So there are some other strong storms in the region. One there in southwestern Jackson County, right along Highway 6, coming out of Texas. It's coming up into El Dorado. That is where we could see a little bit stronger storm there too. As far as any rotation, kind of messy at the moment. So nothing structured or organized there at the moment. So hail and gusty winds for there. A few other isolated storms popping up around Friendship, down towards Tipton and outside of Frederick. That's what we're seeing. A few more storms. We'll investigate these and find that these are just some gusty winds as well. So 40, 45 mile per hour winds coming through with some of these storms as well. Back out to the rest of the region, we'll show you what we're seeing. Lawton, Duncan, Waurika, Anadarko, Chickasha, Wichita Falls, all seeing just scattered showers at the moment. This is the main line out here towards the west. That continues to make its way mainly into far western Oklahoma. So all of these are tracking more in this direction. So your strongest storms are all going to be, let's say, roughly Highway 183 and west. But again, there's still the possibility we could see some isolated strong storms a little bit closer to I-44, closer to Highway 81, that kind of thing. But right now, the immediate storms, based on where they're tracking, are mainly west of Highway 183 at the moment. We'll pop off of here. Again, just a closer look to severe storms, both coming through Jackson, Harmon, and Greer counties, both for 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail. No longer seeing the tornado threat at the moment, but again, any of these storms, especially out western Oklahoma, could see any of these become tornadic. And we're not expecting an outbreak here. Never was the primary threat. Hail and wind were always the primary threats here, but there was going to be that narrow window that we could see possible rotation develop into tornadoes. Thankfully, it doesn't appear like anything developed around the Gould area. We did get pretty close with some wall clouds and some funnel clouds, but based on the radar piecing it out, we didn't see anything touch down other than some strong winds and some hail, giving the all clear to Gould and McQueen as this storm continues to lift out of the area. Still have some strong storms with heavy rain and lightning, so you want to stay inside away from the windows for that. But as far as anything tornadic is concerned, we're not seeing anything like that at the moment. So I'm going to hop off here for the moment. That does not mean that we are done with severe weather. We will continue to keep things going and keep you updated throughout this afternoon. Obviously, if there's anything else that concerns me, I will hop back on here to give you an update and keep you posted on how things stand. But since these are more low end severe thunderstorms with just 60-mile-per-hour winds, I'm going to let this slide for right now. So we're not leaving and going and grabbing anything. I'm staying here, hunkered down, keeping a watch on things. So if another alert to pops up here, you'll know that there's another tornado warning that's popped on here. So appreciate you for hopping on. Hopefully everybody out there in Eastern Harmon County is okay. Heads up to Duke and Mango for more stronger thunderstorms with small hail and wind gusts to 60 here over the next hour, and eventually maybe Altus that we see over the next couple of hours. So appreciate you for hopping in, folks. We'll check back here as the storms warm. All right, take care.